Good evening, everyone. This is Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Evansville Otters YouTube channel. We thank you for joining us here this evening as the Otters continue their road trip, the one that seems like it's never ending, as it's been 10 games and 11 days on the schedule. They're almost there to the end. Tonight, they begin the first game of 4 over the weekend in the suburbs of Chicago as they take on the Schaumburg Boomers. Once again, we thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Preston Lineback. I'll be here with you this evening on the call as the Evansville Otters get set, once again, for the first of 4 this weekend against the Schaumburg Boomers. Last night on the road, Evansville took care of business in Southern Illinois and down in Rent-One Park in Marion, clinching the series win with a rubber match victory as they won 6-3 last night to move their record to 52-34, 18 games above 500. And with that, Evansville was able to sustain their 1.5 games lead in the West Division above the Florence Yaws, who also had a victory last night. And then with the defeat of the Miners now sit 4.5 back of the Otters, so their playoff chances now looking kind of grim after a big series loss to the Otters. So Evansville again taking care of business. They sit with a 52-34 mark. For their opponent this weekend and going into tonight's game, the Schaumburg Boomers are on top of the Central Division pretty comfortably with a 45-41 record, just 4 games above 500. However, they sit 6 games above the next best team. That's the Lake Erie Crushers. They're 39-47 with a losing record so far. So it looks like the Boomers, barring a dramatic losing streak to finish out the last week and a half of the season, they will be the Central Division champions and representing the Central Division in the Frontier League postseason. In which case, if results hold, Evansville would be their opponent in that first round of the divisional series. So this could be a playoff preview, perhaps, here this weekend. As we are coming to you live remotely once again while the team is on the road, broadcasting to you from Bosse Field. Again, Preston Lineback here with you tonight on the call. Lineups being exchanged at home plate, so that'll give us a moment to take a look at the lineups for both sides. First, we'll start with the Evansville Otters, and it's pretty similar for the most part, from at least in the top half of the order. Leading off at third base will be Gary Mattis. Batting second at second base will be number 13, Josh Allen. Batting third and in left field will be Jeffrey Baez. Batting cleanup at first base, Riley Crane. Moving up a couple spots in right field, batting fifth, Elijah McNamee. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, John Schultz. Batting seventh at shortstop, Andy DeJesus. Behind the plate catching and batting eighth, Justin Felix. And batting ninth in center field, Miles Gordon. The left-hander, Braden Scott, will be on the mound for Evansville. Now the lineup for the Boomers. Leading off at third base will be Alec Craig. Batting second at shortstop, Matt McGarry. Batting third in center field, Chase Dawson. Designated hitter batting fourth in cleanup, Quincy Neaporti. At first base, batting fifth, Braxton Davidson. Batting sixth in right field, Clint Hardy. Angelo Gums, he'll bat seventh and play second base. And batting eighth, Matt Botcher, he'll be in left field. Batting ninth, the catcher, Nick Odo. On the mound for the Boomers will be the right-hander, Kyle Arjona. So again, that's the starting lineups for both teams. Their first of 4 this weekend will be a 6:30 start approximately tonight, 6 p.m. start tomorrow and Sunday, and then at 1 p.m. Labor Day special from Wintrust Field in Schaumburg, Illinois. Again, just to the northwest of Chicago. Talking a little bit more about last night's victory for the Otters. The big keys that stood out from last night's game was, one, getting out to an early lead as Evansville scored a run in the first, a couple more later on, and ended up getting all 6 of the runs within the first 4 innings, able to keep the Miners at bay from making any sort of comeback. And then also the man on the mound last night, Tim Holgrafer, the right-hander, had 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, finished with 11, which was a season best for him, and 1 off of the team best for this season, which belongs to the starter here tonight, Braden Scott. He had a dozen strikeouts back in early August. So again, a great outing on the mound for Holgrafer last night, early offense. Compared to Wednesday night, where Evansville came from behind thanks to a triple from Jeffrey Baez in the 7th inning on Wednesday, his second triple of the night, and then a go-ahead inside the park home run from Riley Crane. Something you don't see too often is a go-ahead inside the park home run, but that was the case, and that again led Evansville to a victory on Wednesday. So after dropping Tuesday's opener at Southern Illinois, Evansville won the last two to take the series. Now to kind of recap what's been happening for the Boomers lately. During the midweek, they took on the Gateway Grizzlies down at GCS Ballpark. On Tuesday, they won pretty handily, 12-3. Wednesday, they also won pretty considerably, 11-5. And then last night, they dropped the finale of the series, couldn't get the sweep, as the Grizzlies won 10-9 against the Boomers. So again, Schaumburg taking the series during the midweek against Gateway, as they get set to host the Evansville Otters this weekend. White Sox night at the ballpark at Wintrust Field. For those who arrived early, they were able to get a cross-braided blanket with the Boomers logo as well as the White Sox logo. And they also had Jim Thome in attendance, throwing out the first pitch and also being a part of a Q&A session ahead of tonight's game. So that's pretty cool. The legendary White Sox player Jim Thome was there at Wintrust Field and getting to interact with some of the fans. First pitch is on its way. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get things started from Wintrust Field. The first of four this weekend between the Evansville Otters and the Schaumburg Boomers. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Alrighty, just wrapped up the national anthem, getting set for first pitch from Wintrust Field. Preston Lineback here with you tonight on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel. The Evansville Otters getting set for the first of 4 this weekend against the Schaumburg Boomers. Tonight's starter for Schaumburg is Kyle Arjona, the right-hander. Here's his numbers for this season. For Arjona, a 3.18 ERA. He has won 8 games, lost 5, making his 18th start of the season. He's thrown 107 2/3 innings this year. His strikeout to walk ratio at 83-30. And opposing batters hitting a .234 average against him this season. So again, Arjona on the mound. He'll later be opposed by the left-hander for Evansville, Brayton Scott. We'll dive into his numbers when he warms up for his first inning of work here for long. Again, leading off for Evansville, the first 3 in the order due up in the top of the first inning. Mattis, Allen, Baez, the third baseman, second baseman, and left fielder respectively. And for those wondering, well, why are they playing 4 games this week and 1? It's kind of special, I guess, with the holiday weekend. Might as well have some holiday baseball on Monday. But also, if you remember, back on the opening week, in the opening series, if you will, back in late May, the Otters were scheduled to play 2 games at Schaumburg to open up the season. The Otters won that first game on May 27th, 15-2. However, they were not able to get the second game in on that Friday. They later made that up as part of a doubleheader, so instead of a 3-game series to start the season, they played on that Thursday, Friday back in May. Well, that third game has to fall somewhere in the normal 3-game set. It happens to be just this weekend with the Labor Day weekend trip to Schaumburg. And then once Evansville gets done with their finale on Monday, they'll ride the bus back to Evansville, get a good night's rest, and get set for their last homestand of the season, and then of the regular season, the regular week, should I say, as they'll be the last 6 games on the schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against the Joliet Slammers, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend against the Lake Erie Crushers. Here's Mattis, and before we can even talk about his numbers on the season, first pitch swinging, pops it up, shortstop has it, that's McGarry. And just like that, the pop out for out number 1. So before Josh Allen comes up and looks to be just as aggressive as Mattis, we'll go ahead and give you Allen's numbers since joining the Otters a little about, I guess 2 weeks ago now here for long in a couple days. A 394 average, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and he'll take strike 1 from Arjona. And scoring 11 times, making his 10th start since returning to the Otters lineup. His OBP at 512. Second pitch to Allen is down below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Allen's OPS of 1.209. So again, off to a good start since coming back to the Otters. Fouls this one back. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just like it's a little cloudy, overcast skies in Schaumburg. Allen with that wide stance, but pretty balanced nonetheless. The 1-2, swung on and missed. It's a swinging strikeout. The first strikeout of the night for Arjona. Shows here 71 degrees and cloudy skies in Schaumburg. Temperature will drop not a whole lot throughout the evening. Shows later on tonight, maybe a slight chance for light rain and 68 degrees by 10 o'clock. Strike 1 to Baez now at the dish with 2 out. 415 average for him, making his 13th start. 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 11 runs scored. His OBP at 448, the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. After swinging and missing on the first pitch, he takes a called strike, what appeared to be below the knees, but Apparently it caught enough of the lower part of the zone for strike two. So nothing into the count to Baez. His OPS at 1.335. This one high up and in just below the chin for ball one. Popped up, foul territory on the 1-2. Will it get out of play? It will. Hitting off the top of the first base dugout. And look at that play by that young fan. Off the bounce from the dugout top while holding, looks like a giant bucket of popcorn. Catches it with the other hand, barehanded. Good concentration by that fella right there. Boomer's dugout on that first base side, so I guess he got the home bounce for that young fan. Otters dugout on the third base side. You do have a few fans in the stands wearing jackets or long sleeves. As Arjona kicks and fires. Ground ball to the left side. The third baseman has it across the diamond in time for out number 3. As the Otters go in order in the top of the first inning, we'll head to the bottom half. Braden Scott takes the baseball for Evansville. When we come back on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Back on the Evansville Otters Digital Network YouTube channel. Bottom of the first inning scoreless as Braden Scott gets set for his first pitches of the game. Finish up the warm-up tosses. For Braden Scott, the left-hander, the former Indiana Hoosier on the mound for Evansville. A 3.11 earned run average. 6-4 record this season, making his 13th start. He's thrown in 75 1/3 innings pitched. 83 strikeouts, 21 walks, opposing batters hitting .208 against Scott. And leading off will be Craig. Alec Craig, the third baseman, made that last play before the end of the inning for the Boomers. .261 average for him with 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. First pitch swinging for him, pops it up on a high fly ball to left center field. Gordon calls off Baez, makes the catch. One gone here in the bottom of the first inning. As I'll bring up McGarry, the shortstop. .249 hitter. 8 home runs, 37 driven in. As he has crossed home plate for a run scored 41 times this season. strike called. For Scott, coming off of a rough outing last Saturday against the Gateway Grizzlies, taking the loss in that one. Just didn't quite seem himself last week. Gets a swing and miss, nothing into the count. Evansville ended up falling in that game last Saturday by 1 run. And the other thing, too, that kind of noticed with the struggles last Saturday for Scott is that that pitch count went up and you couldn't get deep into the game like he normally does. Looking to, again, just bounce back here tonight. Polo Portello will go tomorrow. He was part of that 15-1 win last Sunday for the Otters at Gateway, where he had plenty of run support. He picked up his 9th victory of the year, just like Holgrafer did last night. Polo Portela and Tim Holgrafer both with 9 wins this season for the Otters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Scott. High and away. Evens the count 2-2. Next pitch fouled. The 2-2 from Scott to McGarry. Nice breaking ball, swung on a miss. The throw down to first just to be on the cautious side. As that'll be the first strikeout of the night for Scott. 2 gone in the bottom of the first inning. This will bring up a very dangerous hitter in Chase Dawson, the outfielder for Schaumburg. He's in center tonight. Good fastball at the knees for a strike. Dawson this year, some really good numbers. .325 the batting average. 9 home runs, 64 RBIs. 71 runs scored as this one's bounced 1-1. OPS at 894. .509 slugging percentage. Fastball high and away, 2-1 for Scott. Wheels and deals, a 2-1 in there for a strike, down and away. Downstairs in the zone for the call. Strike another fastball. 2-2. Dawson didn't like the call, shaking his head a little bit. So he waits the 2-2 pitch with 2 gone. Breaking ball didn't quite come back inside, or rather back across the plate enough as it came from the inside. As this is a lefty-lefty battle here. The lefty on the mound and then a left-handed batter in Dawson. Trying to sneak it back in from the front side. And that one gets away on the release. Didn't quite have the grip on it for Scott on the fastball, looked like. It's a walk to Dawson. So with that, the next batter, another very dangerous hitter, Quincy Neaporti, probably one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the Frontier League. A .343 average. 15 big flies this season, 59 RBIs, 41 runs, 16 doubles as well. An OPS at .997. He bats from the right side, gets a called strike on his first pitch that he sees in his first at-bat of the night. With a runner at first, that's Dawson, 2 gone. 15 pitches already in the inning for Scott. And Neaporte put some good lumber to this one. Fair ball down the line, bounces off the foul territory wall. Dawson comes all the way around to score from first base. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Boomers. As Neaporte at second base with a double. So a 2-out double by Neaporte, a 1-run lead for the Boomers. Moves the lineup down to Braxton Davison, the first baseman tonight. And the fastball doesn't get the call on the outer half. Scott kind of peers in a little bit. Overall this season, Braxton 263 batting average for him, 19 home runs, 14 doubles, 51 RBIs, 968 OPS. Now as he's been split between two teams this year, one of the mid-season acquisitions for the Boomers, they made some moves here in the last few weeks to try to bolster their club. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's time called. The next pitch will be pitch number 20 of the inning here in the first for Scott. As he comes set at the belt, the pitch. Driven towards center, left center in fact, and it looks like Baez is the one who came up with it. Almost a collision between him and Gordon. Second time in the inning where those two kind of cross paths a little bit. But that will end the bottom of the first. The Boomers lead 1-0 here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
And to the top of the second inning on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Preston Leinbach here with you on the call. As Riley Crane's up to bat, fouls one off on the first pitch he sees. As it'll be Crane, McNamee, and Schultz due up here in this inning. Arjona on the mound for the Boomers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes as that one's kind of tailed away from the left-handed batter Crane. Crane batting .283 with 17 home runs, 72 RBIs. His home run totals top 5 in the league, 72 RBIs, tied league leaders. I mean, 72 driven in, that's a pretty good number to have at this point in the season. As Crane has put together a very good campaign here in 2021. This was popped up on the 2-2 pitch. Or foul territory, third base side, and I'll get over onto the hill and foul territory. Out of play. 2-2 the count still. Jammed him on the 2-2. This is going to be flared out. It'll drop for a hit into the intermediate area of the left center field. Falling in between the shortstop, center fielder, and left fielder for a base hit for Riley Crane. So with that, they'll bring up McNamee. As I mentioned, moved up a couple spots in the order compared to the series in Southern Illinois. For McNamee, an even .300 average this season, 12 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs. He's driven in 42 on the year. His OBP, his on-base percentage, at .407. 59 runs scored as well. The right-handed batter takes a called strike one. I throw over to first to check on Crane. Here's the 0-1. Rolled over towards short. On to second for the first out. And the back end of the double play cannot be completed as the first baseman, Davidson, a little bit of a low throw, but that's one he probably should have had. And being able to dug out. So McNamee is safe at first. It'll be a fielder's choice from the force out at second. Now bringing up the designated hitter, John Schultz. For Schultz, he's batted .261 this year, making his 29th start. And for Schultz, on-base percentage at .430, as he's been able to draw his walks this season. 23, in fact. And there's some guys on this Otters team that have played probably twice, if not 3 times as many games as Schultz, but yet don't have anywhere near the same amount of walks as Schultz. So taking good at bats when he's been in the lineup. Down in the count 0-1 from Arjona, as Arjona now checks over on McNamee at first base. Out of the stretch, Arjona, another throw over. And Davidson didn't even attempt to apply a tag, but if he did, he might have been able to have McNamee caught on a pickoff attempt. McNamee was a little delayed in getting back to first base on that one. Now Arjona fires home on the 0-1. Called strike 2. And Schultz falls behind. That one below the knees downstairs, but Nick Odo, the catcher for Schaumburg, did his best to move that one slightly higher to try to get the call at the bottom of the zone, but did not get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. tough pitch to take if you're Schultz, but as they say, a good eye to lay off that pitch. As they try to spot the fastball down. Another check on McNamee. So again, this long road trip began last Friday with a 3-game weekend series at Gateway. Otters won 2 of 3 there. Had the day off this past Monday. Went to Marion, took 2 of 3 in Southern, so a 4-2 start on this road trip for Evansville as that last pitch was fouled off out of play. You'll take that. It's a winning record so far, of course, in the midst of a pennant race for the West Division, where the division winners will be the only teams to make it to the postseason. And then, again, 4 starting tonight in Schaumburg. 10 games in 11 days, with the last game of the series, another foul ball on Monday. So with the game on Monday, coming back and starting the 6-game homestand Tuesday back at Bosse Field, the Otters, they don't have any more off days between now and the end of the season. Granted, with the postseason race as it is, for Evansville, they're hoping it's an off day next Monday. After that season finale on the 12th for just one day, and then starting some postseason games. They don't want it to be a permanent off day for the rest of the off season as they try to cling on to their 1.5 game lead in the West Division. Another foul ball as Schultz is battling at the plate. He's fouled off at least 4 straight pitches now. The Boomers pitching staff this year have had a few guys get picked up to affiliated baseball, the likes of Aaron Rozek, Orlando Rodriguez as well. For Evansville, they had Dalton Stanball, their left-hander, at the beginning of the season after just a couple weeks get signed with the Chicago Cubs organization. As the 1-2 breaking ball is just outside 2-2. And if you had to look at the numbers and kind of compare these two teams, the offense is pretty solid for Schaumburg. It's kind of just been the inconsistency of their pitching staff at times this year, whether it be the starting rotation or their bullpen that's kind of been the one glaring mark. As Schultz goes down to get one, and initially the outfielder on right, Hardy, came in, then kind of had a sideways backpedal a little bit. It was hit well by Schultz, but not able to get down. That's the second out. McNamee was off with the pitch, it looked like. He ends up retreating back to first base. So a nice long at bat for Schultz. Ends up flying out to right. And that'll bring up the switch hitter, the shortstop, number 2, Andy DeJesus. And for DeJesus, he's kind of bounced around the lineup a little bit this year. He's been the leadoff guy, number 2 guy. Bottom of the order, batting 7th tonight. That one in the dirt. And with the Otters on the road, I will say yes, in the dirt, as Schaumburg, one of the other teams next to Evansville that actually still has a natural grass, natural dirt field that doesn't use the turf. Count 1-0. McNamee still at first. It's a 1-0 lead for the Boomers. They scored that first run in the first inning. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Big swing and a miss there from DeJesus, 1-1. DeJesus, for the most part, has batted from the left side, going against mostly right-handed pitchers this year. Absolute majority of the time I've seen right-handers, which I would say would probably be DeJesus' strong suit, I would assume. Looking very comfortable batting from the left side. Fouls this one back, 1-2. And for DeJesus, former Indiana State product, the Missouri Valley Conference. Otters TV, we caught up with him a couple weeks ago. Talked to him about his career with the Sycamores. Hanging just a little bit north on 41 to Terre Haute. You can catch that interview on our YouTube channel. So again, it's a 1-0 lead for the Boomers. A 1-2 count. Top of the second, 2 outs. McNamee at first. De Jesus at the plate. There we go. Had some technical difficulties there for a minute, but got it solved as De Jesus grounds out to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 lead Boomers here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
All right, here we go. Going to the bottom of the second inning on the Otters YouTube channel, the Otters Digital Network. Preston Leinenbach here with you tonight. Again, we had some audio difficulties there that last half inning. I don't know how it came across, if it was completely off or if it was very subtly, but we were able to adjust the knobs and do some finagling here to get it hopefully working and back up at full volume. As a strike call to the first batter of this inning, Clint Hardy, the right fielder, against Scott on the mound for Evansville. We had a little shortage in one of our audio cables here. We're able to put it back into place correctly, and sometimes you just gotta twist and turn it, and when it comes to a lot of issues, did you restart it? Did you turn it off and back on? The simple things like that. As it's 1-2 here to Hardy from Scott. Sometimes you just got to do a reboot. As Scott looks in, steps back toward third, now fires home. Swing and a miss. A powerful strikeout there from Scott to get the right fielder Hardy out. Strikeout swinging. It's the second strikeout of the night for Scott. Be Angelo Gums, the second baseman, up next, batting in the 7th hole. And for Gums, we'll take a look at his numbers this year. Who, by the way, two-way player, has made one appearance on the mound this season for the Boomers. But batting-wise, .247 average for him, 6 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's down 0-1 the next pitch. Fastball inside, just below the belt. 1 ball, 1 strikes. Or 1 strike. It's only a singular, not a plural. Boomers at again 1-0 against Evansville. The series opener this weekend. This one chopped foul to the third base side. 1-2 the count now with 1 out. And still rolling and rolling and rolling. We'll see here. That's an Otter who picked it up. Didn't quite see who it was coming out of the bullpen to get it, as the bullpens are field side in Schaumburg, just as they are at Boston Field. Looked like a breaking ball that kind of hung up a little bit. Fouled off to the first base side this time. Still 1-2. Schaumburg Boomers and the Evansville Otters battling out here tonight, as they went back-to-back in terms of the respective Frontier League champions in 2016, that being the Otters, and 2017, that being the Boomers. That one's also fouled off. Manager Jamie Bennett for the Boomers. He's been there, I believe, off the top of my head here, going deep dive into the notes, 9 seasons now. And he has led the Boomers to 3 Frontier League titles in those 9 seasons. And Gums gets a 1-out hit on the 1-2 count. So he reaches base. He'll bring up left fielder Botcher. Let's see. Bennett's been the field manager for the Boomers since their inaugural season in October. Joining the organization, that is, in October 2011, 2012, the first actual season. Of course, last year did not happen due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Boomers, the league champions in 2013 and 14, going back-to-back, joining the likes of the Windy City Thunderbolts, who also went back-to-back in the mid-2000s. Then again, winning in 2017 with a 66-30 record. Pretty respectable year in 2017 for the Boomers. And also had a good team that year as well, mostly having a lot of similar faces from their championship team in 2016, but basically just ran into a juggernaut in the Schaumburg Boomers in 2017. It's the left fielder Botcher at the plate again. Now count 2-1. A few pitches gone by since going over Jamie Bennett, the manager's bio for Schaumburg. Fouls this one off now. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Botcher, a .273 average for him. Not a lot of runs driven in production. Only 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. As Nick Odo, the catcher, awaits on deck. As they have the runner in the rundown on the pickoff attempt. Crane over to DeJesus. He'll apply the tag. So that's a pretty good rundown right there by the Otters to get the 2nd out. Scott able to step off, throw over to Crane, who threw it over to DeJesus, and DeJesus ran him all the way down, even though it kind of zigzagged away for a moment out of the base path. So just like that, nobody on now. Base is cleared. 2-2 count, bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs. Again, it's a 1-0 lead for the Boomers. They score that run on an RBI double by Neaporti in the bottom of the 1st. Foul ball right at the plate. That one might have caught Botcher a little bit on the shoe tops, so he'll take a moment to walk it off. 35 pitches now for Scott. Again, Scott, the former Indiana Hoosier, part of the Big Ten Conference. I've been up to the home ballpark of the Hoosiers, Kauffman Field. up in Bloomington. It's a turf facility. Capacity of 2,500 spectators. Named after Bart Kaufman, alumnus who played from 60 to 62 in Bloomington. And it's a base hit with 2 outs on a 3-2 count for Botcher. So I've made my trip up to Bloomington and called a few games at that field with the University of Evansville during their non-conference schedule in the springtime. I've seen a SportsCenter top 10 play up there as the former Evansville ace Josh Jaywook literally flipped over the outfield wall to make a catch. Held on to it too after the contact with the wall. I've also seen the game get called early and basically a non-existent game when the Aces were up double digits on the Hoosiers at Kauffman Field, but due to storms and lightning in the area, it just didn't seem to go away. They decided to just end the game, and it was before the end of the 5th, or in the 5th inning, should I say, so it wasn't an official game. So here's Nick Odo, the catcher, batting just above 200, not really known for his offense, more for his defense and his leadership as he's been around with the Boomers for a couple seasons. And as Zane Clodfelter would say, he's busy elsewhere covering high school football tonight, as well as Jevin and Jordan Fisher. Jevin Redmond also. As it's Friday Night Lights here in Southwest Indiana. 2-0 count. But as Zane would say, oh no, it's Nick Odo. Which was the case, because if you remember that last full road trip back in June to Schaumburg, as part of that doubleheader Sunday, it was a split day where the two teams split the 2 games, but Schaumburg won their game on a walk-off by Nick Odo. That one's fouled off 2-1, so like Zane would say, oh no, it was Nick Odo that day. Hopefully he doesn't hurt the Otters here tonight. 1-0 lead. 40 pitches now for Scott. Runner at first. Bottom of the second. 2-1 the count. And 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Again, fouled off. As again tonight with Friday Night Lights, Jevin Redmond, I believe he made the trip up to Jasper with the Wrights Panthers to call that game. Jordan Fisher, I believe, is calling the Castle Bossy game. And Zane would be over covering the Spencer County teams, Heritage Hills, South Spencer here tonight on this Friday night. High school football action. I guess it's week 3 now for high school football in Southwest Indiana. The count runs full to Odo. Scott comes set. Gets the brown ball over to second. Allen scoops, throws in time for out number 3. Through 2, it's 1-0 Boomers. Otters coming up to bat in the top of the 3rd on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Starting the top of the third inning between the Boomers and the Otters. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network. Starting the top of the third here on the Otters Digital Network. Preston Leinbach with you. It's a 1-0 lead for the Boomers against the Otters. Foul back as it's Felix and Gordon. Then back to the top of the order, Mattis. So 8-9-1 spot. Felix fouls off the first pitch, 0-1 with Arjona on the mound. For Felix, having the night off last night as Dakota Phillips was behind the plate. Called strike, 0-2. Felix started on Wednesday night in Southern and unfortunately had to wear the golden sombrero, struck out 4 times. Hoping to find a little more production here tonight. And this one's laced foul. And his count remains 0-2. Is over by the Otters bullpen, so the kids start running and screaming toward the Otters bullpen, telling the Otters, hey, I want the ball, I want the ball. And thrown back onto the foul territory hill as a free-for-all. Swing and a miss. That one looked a little bit like an off-speed up in the zone. It's a strikeout of Felix here in the top of the third. I have that as the second strikeout for Arjona. I want to give a shout out to Schaumburg broadcaster Tim Calderwood, our good friend, as he's helping me out a little bit this weekend. As kind of gave him a little heads up, like if you wouldn't mind helping and sending me their game notes as well as their lineups for today. Considering I am broadcasting remotely back in Evansville, and he was understanding as he has also broadcasted some of the Boomers road games remotely this season. So again, I want to thank Tim for his help and assistance on passing along the lineups. And also want to thank the rest of the production crew in Schaumburg for their video stream here on the Frontier League TV league-wide platform, powered by Vimeo. As Gordon now at the plate, the center fielder from the left side. Big breaking ball, but drops down toward the dirt for a ball. For Gordon, hitting .254 this year, has gone deep 3 times with 31 RBIs on the year. Has 25 stolen bases, the most on the team. Popped up on the infield, and was that Arjona? Yes, it was. Arjona, the pitcher, made the play. Normally on pop-ups like that, you tell the pitcher, just get out of the way. Tell him to go run to center field. Get out of the way for the infielders. But he made the catch, but not without taking a kind of a blow from his catcher, Nick Odo, who took off the mask, came charging in toward the mound and tried to make the play. I mean, we get it. Pitchers, they're athletes, but they have a few more obstacles to deal with when fielding a high fly ball in the infield than some of the other fielders. So back to the top of the order with 2 gone. Top of the 3rd inning, it's Mattis. First pitch swinging once again, popped up to short the first time. This time to the first baseman. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 3rd for the Otters. Step aside, take a break on the Otters Digital Network. Come back with the bottom of the 3rd right after this on the Otters Digital Network.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Play getting back to action. The bottom of the 3rd. It's a 1-1 count already to the top of the order. And Craig for the Boomers. Scott on the mound for Evansville. 1-0 lead for the Boomers. And so, there's an outside call for Scott. Craig kind of wrinkles his, crans his neck a little bit. That one, it's 1-2. 45 pitches now for Scott. Otters trail by 1. And there's a punch out. Called strike 3 to Craig. He doesn't like it. 3rd strikeout for Scott. So McGarry will be next up as Craig shares just a couple words with the home plate umpire, showing his disagreement. So again, McGarry, who struck out swinging his first time up, will get set in the right-handed batter's box. And as Felix is the one giving the signals to Scott on the mound. Fastball down and in for a ball. I will say there looks like there's a few more fans in attendance for the Boomers than what we saw this week in Marion. Of course, being a weekend series and a holiday weekend. Nice little attraction for a reasonable rate for a game ticket, I would assume. Nice, just nice something to do with the family. Go out to a ball game for a nice, like I said, kind of cheaper buck compared to maybe what you would spend at the 2 major league ballparks in the Chicago area. which I believe the Cubs are for sure at home at Wrigley. We'll take a look here at the MLB scoreboard here in a sec just to confirm that. Is that one inside 4-ball? 2-1 to McGarry. We'll pull this right up here. Let's see. Yes, the Cubs were home against the Pirates earlier today. Already final 6-5. Two teams with 2 losing records, so not really meaning much, but yes, the Cubs were at home today. White Sox, you know, it's a White Sox night at Wintrust Field, 2-2 count now with 1 gone. They were on the road here this weekend to Kansas City. They are currently at a delay. For the local interest, as that's another strikeout for Scott. He's starting to get into a groove. It's his 4th punch out of the night. Local interest, the Reds currently trailing the Tigers 4-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th, so still early, but I know that has some potential wild card meaning. The Reds and the Cardinals are battling it out down the stretch. Speaking of the Cardinals, they're up 2-0 already, top of the 2nd against the Brewers. Brewers leading the NL Central by a considerable margin. So again, the Cardinals are hoping just to kind of make ground on the wild card race, I'd assume, at this point. And kind of a special night for the Cardinals, as Adam Wainwright on the mound paired up with Yadier Molina behind the plate. That battery making their 300th start together in their career. 300 starts as the battery for the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. So that's pretty special because the longevity of both careers and the tenure that they've had with the same team. As it's a 0-2 count to Chase Dawson, who walked his first time. Because one, you just don't see many players either stick to the same team in their career by their own choice or by the organization's choice. That one's fouled off. You see a lot of players now kind of go and chase where they can either win a championship, where they can get paid, or you see the organization may give up on a player kind of early or just make a business decision to move on. You don't see many players, especially a pitcher catcher, stick with the same team for basically their entire career. Scott gets the swinging strikeout. We'll touch more about this in the next inning. It's an interesting topic to me, at least. Top of the 4th inning we go. 1-0 Boomers against the Otters on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
All right, top of the fourth inning through 3. Allen Baez craning you up for the Otters. 1-0 lead for the Boomers. Called strike to Allen. You start the top of the fourth. So again, as I was mentioning before the break, 300 start tonight as battery mates between Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina. Like I said, you don't see many players stick around to a team for their career by their own choice or by the business decision of their team, of their ball club, as Allen singles one up the middle for a base hit. So what they're achieving tonight is pretty rare, especially nowadays. And as I pull up this article that I saw yesterday where it kind of talks about the achievement, I'm just amazed by, again, 300 starts by these two guys as Baez is at the plate. It compares the achievement to the likes of course, for a long time, you know, Bass and Bumgarner's now elsewhere from San Francisco, between him and Buster Posey, of course, during that stretch of World Series championships for the Giants. Jeff Saturday and Peyton Manning, quarterbacks center duo in Indianapolis for a long time. On the baseball field, once again, you have the likes of Tim McCarver and Bob Gibson. Also, Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh Jennings. In terms of beach volleyball, they were a dynamic duo, especially more recognized at the Olympic level. Let's see here. It looks like Baez got a hold of one going way back, and it is gone. The Otters are ahead 2-1. Jeffrey Baez sends one out to deep left. There goes that man again. The reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. For Baez, it's his 7th home run as an Otter. Picks up RBIs 15 and 16 as Allen comes around to score. But most importantly, in the top of the 4th inning, it's a 2-1 lead for the Otters. And here comes Riley Crane, still no one out. As Kyle Arjona has given up his first blemishes of the night. A 2-run shot by Baez. Swing and a miss from Crane. Evansville wearing their road grays tonight with the script blue Evansville across the chest. Fouled back 1-2. I love that the franchise has brought back the word mark of Evansville across the front on the road jerseys, because I think it's important to let the other teams and their home fans know where the Otters are from. They're from Evansville, Indiana. And they are the Evansville Otters. Bouncer back to Arjona. He'll underhand it to first base for the first out. For the Boomers, they're wearing their black tops with the Boomers word mark across the chest, wide pants, and a stripe down the side. As McNamee hit to a fielder's choice his first time up, steps up once again here in the top of the 4th. Again, the home run in the inning by Baez, a 2-1 lead. He sent that one all the way to the picnic tables in left field at Wintrust Field. As McNamee fouls one off, 0-1. So we were talking a little bit about MLB and the scores there. Well, how about we bring it back a little bit closer to more of importance for the Otters with the FrenchReleaseTV.com scoreboard update, as McNamee fouls another one off, 0-2. This one's going to go all the way down the right field line and onto the hill on the right field side. Looking elsewhere, in the bottom of the 3rd, the Miners lead the Gateway Grizzlies 7-2, as the Miners will face Gateway this weekend, then have a big series, we would think, by the point of the middle of next week against Florence, and then they play Gateway again next weekend to finish out the regular season. Bottom of the 6th, Tri-City 2-0 against New York. Top of the 2nd, Florence taking on Joliet, 4-0 lead for the Yalls. Bottom of the 5th, Equipe Quebec, 4-0 lead against the Jackals of New Jersey. Washington leads Sussex County 3-1, top of the 5th there. And then the Windy City Thunderbolts and Lake Erie Crushers are all square at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 4th. So again, the main scores, Miners are ahead, Yalls are ahead, and the Otters are ahead. So right now, as things hold, the standings will not change. It'd be a 1.5 game lead for the Otters, 4.5 back would be the Miners of Evansville. Evansville would like to extend that lead, though, and may drop that magic number a little bit more and get Florence to somehow drop their game tonight against Joliet. McNamee looking at a 1-2 count, takes one underneath the elbows to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As that one runs the count full, going low below the zone to McNamee. Their birthday boy yesterday turned 25. As Elijah celebrated birthday yesterday, of course, having the start in yesterday's game at Southern Illinois, as he drives this one all the way to the wall in right center field. He'll have a stand-up double for Elijah McNamee with 1 out. As the right fielder, Hardy, had to go all the way and chased it down. And for McNamee, that's big because, you know, he's been able to get on base with the walks lately. He's been struggling to make, or I shouldn't say make contact. He's made good contact, just not finding any green grass and room to work with in the outfield for a hit. But that'll help get that average back up, and hopefully the start of a good stretch here down the stretch run of the last week of the season and maybe into the postseason. As again, McNamee was at an even 300 average starting today. And Schultz squeezes one just inside the white chalk down the third base line. He rounded first. McNamee scores. It's an RBI for Schultz nonetheless. 3-1 lead for the Otters. And it looks like Schultz did get back safely as he kind of took a wide turn around first. Thought about going for second. So 3 runs in the inning now for the Otters. As the second time through the order being the difference right now in this game. Arjona struggling against the Otters. Second time through the meat of the lineup. Here's DeJesus, the shortstop. Grounded out to his counterpart at short last time up in the second inning. First pitch swinging, says this one out. This might drop. It's a diving attempt in and out of the glove. Dawson had it, but it bounces out. It's a hit for DeJesus. Schultz advances the second. As the Otters are rolling here in the fourth inning, they're going with the current down the river. They're not trying to go upstream against the current and make it tough on them. Might be right now tough for Arjona on the mound, but the Otters, they are finding their groove here in the fourth inning. And you start with a single by Allen, a 2-run home run for Baez, then a ground out by Crane, a double by McNamee, an RBI single by Schultz, and now another single by DeJesus. Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second. 3-1 the score. Felix takes a big rip, but that one down in the zone toward the dirt. I think he had it set in his mind to go ahead and swing at the first pitch, which we've seen a few times in this game already. Evansville being aggressive, which they did a few times last night early on against Michael Austin on the mound for the Miners. Felix gets a hold of one, pulls it down the line. It is off the top of the wall. That's a home run. Justin Felix goes yard. The fourth inning. Big time for the Otters. They now lead 6-1 on a 3-run blast by the catcher, Justin Felix. It's his third home run of the season. And just like that, 6 runs across here in this fourth inning. As Jamie Bennett comes out. To the mound. I thought it was going to be a regular mound visit, but now he's going over to the third base umpire to talk, and maybe he's trying to make sure that that ball cleared the home run part of the wall. I didn't see like a distinguished yellow line. Usually when there's some space or a difference between the wall and maybe a secondary wall, there's a yellow line to make it easier to make the home run call, but that's all part of laying out the ground rules as part of the pregame meeting between managers as well. And that's the discussion here. As Arjona's up to 60 pitches, Otters lead 6-1. Here in the fourth inning, just like they did last night. Just hit me like a light bulb going off. They had 6 runs in the first 4 innings last night, 6 runs here tonight. Of course, tonight they've done it all in 1 inning. It looks like the discussion is over. I think that would be a tough one to overturn, obviously, without any kind of challenge or instant replay available field side for the umpires to go and take a look. But nonetheless, I think it's a reasonable argument to go and just at least have the umpires talk about it, because it was pretty close of where it hit that top of the wall in left field. So now back to play. Gordon at the plate with the bases clear. 6-1 lead for the Otters, top of the fourth. And Gordon takes one high for a ball. There's only one gone. Still only one out here in this inning. The right-hander Arjona still on the mound. This one's a grounder. And it's going to get through into right field. Through the right side hole for a base hit for Gordon. As back to the top of the order, and Mattis, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of pop-outs, he'll be the 9th batter of the inning. Now, he has swung at the first pitch in both of his previous at-bats. We'll see here if he wants to approach it the same way. He does. And this one is fair. Down the left field line. Near the tarp roll, it bounces off. They're going to hold Gordon up at third. Mattis, again, just finding some room inside the chalk for the double. The Otters have batted around here in this top of the fourth inning, as it's Josh Allen who led off the frame with a single back up to the plate. And this is going against one of Schaumburg's better pitchers here tonight in Arjona. We mentioned his ERA just above 3. There's a good first pitch breaking ball, though. And getting the Otters offense out in front with their aggressiveness. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Yeah, for Arjona, I mean, his ERA is 3.18. Respectable. It's not like he's been shelled too many times before. There's an inside-out swing, but a little tardy by Allen. Now he's down 0-2 as that one fouled off. That's kind of, it feels like kind of how it's been for the Otters here in the last couple of weeks. It feels like either the offense has been, just a couple games non-existent, or they've scored in bunches here lately. 6 runs tonight, 6 runs last night, 6 runs on Wednesday, 15 on Sunday. They scored 6 on Saturday. It was 8 on last Friday, a week ago. Called strike 3 against Allen. That's the second out of the inning. And for Arjona, that's his 3rd strikeout. So I have to use my scorecard here and shift the inning columns over 1 with the Otters batting around here in this inning. This is Baez. He really got the rally going in this 4th inning with the 2-run shot. First pitch swinging, pops it up, shallow right. The second baseman backing up. That's Gums, and he'll haul it in for the final out. Otters, again, bat around in the inning. They score 6 runs, and they take a 6-1 lead to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Scott on the mound with now a 5-run lead. Otters lead 6-1. Called strike. This is Neoporti at the plate. How about that last inning by the Otters? Batting around, getting 2 home runs. Going from down 1 to up by 5. That's a big inning right there. Again, 2nd time through the order. Evansville picked something up. They got something out of the that they might have noticed about Arjona on the mound. As Neoporti grounds out to start the bottom of the 4th, 4-3 on the putout. On the ground ball to Allen. What an inning. And get the first out in the inning of the next bottom of the fourth, that is, in this next half inning by Neoporti, a dangerous hitter. That's a good way to start it. As Davidson backs away from a breaking ball, 1-0. As Scott approaches 60 pitches. Second pitch, grounder. And this one will get into center field for a base hit. So that'll bring up Hardy. He struck out his last time up back in the second inning. As I have 5 strikeouts for Scott so far through 3 1/3. That is matching up with the official scoring, so at least my math is on pace and on par with the official scores in Schaumburg. As it's a 1-0 count here to Hardy. There's a called strike. Evens count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like Scott took a little bit off that one. With the runner at first. Crane holding at first base. Out of the stretch. Scott, the next pitch. This one swung on and missed. 1-2. And I mentioned earlier how Scott trying to bounce back from a kind of a bumpy start last week, and I'm just kind of curious if that's just a result of playing at GCS Ballpark, which is obviously pretty shallow in some areas of that field, and what would normally be probably a fly ball out in most places was not that. It was actually a hit in GCS Ballpark. As there's the 6th strikeout of the night. That's another strikeout of Hardy, the second of the game for him. I'm sure, Scott knows he probably didn't. There's probably a few pitches he would like back in that game last week, but he's pitched so well this year. It's hard to believe that, everything was a result of his performance. I'm sure it had something to do with the distances, we'll put it that way, at GCS Ballpark. As this one on the pitch to Gums is pulled foul. There's a lot of activity on both of those grass hills. At Schaumburg, they have one down the left field line as well as one down the right field line. Or berms, as some people call them. A lot of kids out there playing, throwing the ball around, playing catch. Looks like a fun time. Makes you think of the Little League World Series, which just wrapped up last week at Williamsport. There's a called strike to Gums. 0-2 with 2 outs. Runner at first, bottom of the fourth, 6-1 lead for the Otters. Of course, when you watch the games at Williamsport, you see kids running up and down the hills, watching the game, getting their cardboard and sliding down the hill there in Williamsport. This one's popped back foul. It was just refreshing to see the Little League World Series being able to take place this year after not being able to have that last year, even though it was just a U.S. championship this year, as the international teams weren't able to make the trip due to safety protocols and really probably their own precaution. It's still kind of some baby steps to get all the way back to normal yet. There's a swinging strikeout to end the inning. That runner is stranded. It's another strikeout, number 7 for Scott. We go to the 5th. Otters lead 6-1 on the YouTube channel and the Otters Digital Network.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Here we go to the top of the fifth on the Otters Digital Network YouTube channel. Otters are up by 5, 6-1 to score. Preston Leinenbach here with you tonight. Riley Crane to lead off. Grounded out in the fourth inning. Got a single back in the second. And takes one high and away, not even close for ball one. As Arjona, the right-hander on the mound for the Boomers, approaching 70 pitches. Going solo here tonight, as I mentioned, Jevin, Jordan, and Zane all covering high school football action tonight for their third week of action in the high school football season. There's a fly out to left, Crane down for the first out. Tomorrow night, it'll be Jevin and I, possibly Zane, might be a late arrival tomorrow night if he joins us. Then Jevin and I, again, possibly Zane on Sunday. And it'll be Jevin and I on Monday. It'll be a busy day on Monday. Is this one? Woo! Almost got a piece of Arjona. Line back up the middle by McNamee. He's on board for the second time. Actually, the third time he had a fielder's choice. He reached in his first plate appearance. But again, tomorrow night's a 6 p.m. start as well as Sunday, but 1 p.m. start on Monday. So I'll be on the call again with Jevin on that one Monday. And then following the Otters game, as the college athletic season has begun in the fall sports season, I'll be taking my, broadcasting skills, depending on who you ask, to the University of Evansville Monday evening for a soccer matchup against Lipscomb on the ESPN platform. Crossover season, I guess you can call it, between the Evansville Otters and the college athletic season that I also work and contribute with. It's not as bad as last spring where every sport was happening at the same time, as every sport decided to return to action at the same time. As McNamee advances to second on a stolen base, Schultz is at the plate. And even though it was kind of exhausting at times last spring with every sport coming back and happening at the same time, you had soccer and baseball and softball and the end of basketball season, beginning of the Otter season, high school baseball. I won't take it for granted ever again after having none of that in 2020. It was quite an enjoying experience to have just to return. Just to take a moment and sit back and just be thankful to have sports back again. 2-1 the count to Schultz. McNamee at second takes his lead. Got a pretty good secondary lead. Decides to hold back though, even though the pitch was near the dirt. 3-1 ahead in the count the lefty Schultz at the plate against the righty Arjona on the mound. Top of the fifth, 1 out. Again, the Otters lead by 5, 6-1. Schultz, looks like that took a Baltimore hop almost to shortstop, but over across the diamond in time. McNamee now to third. So it went 6-3 on the putout. 2 outs, but runner 90 feet from home, and McNamee with DeJesus coming up. He singled in that 4th inning. First pitch to Jesus. Will it get out of play? It will. As the left fielder Botcher went over to the fence, the wall on the left field side to give it a look, but it was out of play. The 0-1. Swung on a miss, nothing at 2. Don't think we'll see McNamee attempt what DeJesus did at home a few weeks ago. Remember a couple weeks ago at home, Sunday afternoon game, DeJesus staying at third. It was a left-handed pitcher on the mound for Lake Erie. He took off. He stole home. I had not seen that in my 5 seasons here at Bossy Field. And Zane, who had been here for the last decade, said he had never seen that. But DeJesus stole home. It was pretty cool to see. He flies this one out toward the gap in left center, but going back, leaping up is Botcher to make a good catch. You tip your cap to him on that one. I thought that one was going to get over his head. But he catches it for the final out of this top of the 5th. We're halfway home. Otters lead 6-1 on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach, and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Currently start the bottom of the 5th inning. Scott on the mound for Evansville. He's working with a 6-1 lead as the Otters struck for all 6 of their runs back in the 4th inning. The 1 run for the Schaumburg Boomers, their opponent here tonight in the first of 4 this weekend. They scored their lone run back in the 1st inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Scott looks in, gets his signs from Justin Felix. As it's Matt Botcher, left fielder, made that play for the last out. Swings, first pitch, right to Gordon. Barely had to move from his natural position to start. That's a fly out to center field for out number 1. So far, just the 1 run for Scott allowed. 7 strikeouts here in this game as he approaches 70 pitches. It'll be Nick Odo to dig in from the left side. He grounded out to second back in his first plate appearance in the second inning. There's a breaking ball. That's a beauty. In at the belt, right on the inside half. So kind of always interesting to talk to pitchers and pitching staffs and as well as pitching coaches about their philosophy on, how do you approach a guy? Do you just always attack with a fastball, then go with the soft stuff or the breaking ball? But you see some pitchers, they are more comfortable kind of working in reverse with the off speed or the breaking ball first, then establishing the fastball after. And sometimes it's the first time in the order where you go soft then hard. Sometimes it's later on. It just depends, I guess, on who you ask, and depends on the type of pitcher as well. And now the count: 2 balls, 1 strike to Odo. I mean, you still want to have both the fastball and the off-speed and breaking ball working for you, so that way they balance each other out and keep the batters off balance, not fall into any sort of rhythm. As Odo hits a soft liner to right field for a base hit. That returns us to the top of the lineup once again, and Alec Craig, the third baseman for Schaumburg. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. We'll peek over to first base as that breaking ball drops right into the heart of the plate for strike 1, as Craig was kind of showing a half bunt attempt, kind of ran away from it, it dropped in for a strike. Should look over to first, and again, delivers home. Scott, another good breaking ball, doesn't get the call. As that one fell perfectly to my eyes into the down and inside corner of the zone. Time called as the count: 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on at first base. Again, the Otters up by 5 here in the bottom of the 5th. Back with the fastball, and after 2 breaking pitches, Craig, late on that swing, fouls it back. It's 1-2. The next pitch from Scott. This one's shot out toward left. Baez going back in front of the track. Reaches up, makes the catch for the second out as Odo shots back to first base. Now, since that first inning, with the RBI double by Neaporti, it's been smooth sailing for Scott. 2 singles in the second, but again, they had that runner in the rundown earlier to get out of that jam. He struck out the side in the third. As there's a fly ball to left. Baez, ooh, that one snuck up on him, I think, as it came down, but he catches it nonetheless from McGarry for out number 3. We're through 5 onto the 6th. The Otters lead 6-1 here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
We're ready to start the top of the 6th inning on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel. The Otters are up on the Boomers 6-1 from the Wintrust Field in Schaumburg. Preston Leinbach here with you on the call, and they just had their little mascot race. Of course, here at Evansville, we have the Evansville Legends race. For Schaumburg, I don't know who is sponsored by or what it was exactly called, but I saw a costume with sunscreen, a costume with insect repellent. I didn't catch what the third one was, but I guess insect repellent won because he took off down the first base line for a victory lap, and I guess just to appease his fans down in the first base seats. And the staffers of Schaumburg had to go get insect repellent back to get off the playing field so they can get ready for the next inning. But I guess congrats to insect repellent for winning the race. You know, insect repellent is very handy this time of year here in the summer humid months. A lot of pests flying around and making a nuisance of themselves, biting, that's for sure. All right, so here we go for the top of the 6th. The Otters coming up with the 8-9-1 spots. Justin Felix is the first one up. And a high breaking ball drops in for a strike. For Felix, last time up, a 3-run blast. I mean, he absolutely crushed it as part of that big inning for the 6 runs in the 4th for the Otters. Another curveball. This one looks like just a little bit down and away for a ball. It's 1-1, which was a good bounce back at bat after striking out swinging in that 3rd inning for Felix. Another breaking pitch. This one looked to really be kind of a hanger, but stayed above the zone. It's popped up. Fair territory. The first baseman, Davidson, has it. And that is the first out here in the 6th inning. It's probably one I would have swung at as well because it didn't look like it just kind of spun up there, but it just never came back down deep enough into the middle part of the plate for good contact. So they'll bring up Miles Gordon. He's popped out as well and singled in the 4th inning. Takes the ball in the dirt. Ball 1 as Arjona still on the mound for the Boomers. So even though he's given up those 6 runs in that big inning in the 4th, he's gone pretty well deep into this game to save the bullpen a little bit for the Boomers. You don't want to use the bullpen in the first game of a 4-game series. A lot of tired arms, I would assume, if that was the case by the end of the weekend. But he's at 84 pitches, so his line may be coming to a close here pretty soon in the next inning. Either after this inning or maybe one more after this. And as Gordon grounds one, looks like foul. Just foul down the right field line. And that's the other interesting thing too, and I think something to consider is, be interested to see the approach this weekend with the pitching staffs. I mean, you don't have the off day coming up, so that kind of puts a little twist, I guess, to the starting rotation. That is, normally they have their day off as Gordon grounds out 5-3 on the 2-1 pitch. Because even if the guy who normally starts on Tuesday, like O'Reilly, he's going to pitch on Sunday, so that's normal. And then they normally get, of course, the Monday off after that. However, that is not the case because O'Reilly will pitch Sunday as he did this past Tuesday, but then he won't have that off day. So come next, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next Saturday, it'll be next Friday, he'll be back on the mound. As Mattis is up back to the top of the order with 2 outs. I mean, it's still the normal, I guess, 4-day break and pitching every 5th day, but it's still just a little different where there's not that extra added day somewhere either before or after your start. Normally, whoever pitches on the Wednesday game in the middle of the week will usually start the next series on the following Tuesday. And then again, on the flip side of not having that extra off day on Monday, you don't have that extra day of rest for the bullpen arms to start the new week. The 1-1-2 Mattis goes about halfway, tries to hold up, but it's a called strike anyway. 1-2 the count. Like, I can't even imagine if Florence, for example, had playing Monday and didn't have the off day because they're playing doubleheaders here lately. Scheduled doubleheaders when they're at home. This one's a weak roller, and Mattis tries to avoid the tag by Davidson, but Davidson gets the job done for the 3rd out. It'll be 3 unassisted. And that'll take us to the bottom of the 6th. 6-1 lead for the Otters here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Back here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel, Preston Leinbach with you on the call. The Otters do lead the Boomers 6-1. Scott on the mound again, the bottom of the 6th inning. And it'll be Dawson, the center fielder, to lead off. Dawson tonight with a walk and a strikeout. Square to bunt, pulls back as that one was down in the dirt. It's 1-0. And now Scott approaching 80 pitches. We'll have a scoreboard update here for you shortly. Let's refresh the page. There we go. And the second pitch on the 1-0 popped up. Going back to Jesus into the outfield grass. Reaches up, pulls it down for the 1st out. Alright, so that FrontierLeagueTV.com scoreboard update. The Miners top of the 7th inning ahead 7-2 at GCS Ballpark against Gateway. The Valley Cats and Boulders are tied 4-4 in the top of the 8th. Florence is up 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th against Joliet. 7-0 lead for Equipe Quebec against the Jackals of New Jersey in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 6th inning, Washington and Sussex County tied at 3. And then the top of the 7th inning, Windy City leading Lake Erie 6-3. And next up is Neaporte, and he'll line one into left field for a base hit. That's his second hit of the night. And a double for an RBI in the first inning. Again for Scott, 5 1/3 now with 7 strikeouts on the night so far. And so he'll get set to face Davidson, who's 1 for 2. He had a single in the 4th in his last time at the plate. Started the game in his first at-bat in that first inning with a fly out to left. First pitch swinging. This one drops into the outfield. Gordon comes on to scoop it up. Neaporte going all the way first to third. We'll see here where Davidson ended up. If he stayed at first or if he ended up at second on the throw. Looks like he stayed at first base for back-to-back singles. But again, Neaporte advances to third on the play. So men at the corners, 1 out, the bottom of the 6th for Schaumburg. A little momentum for them now. As the right fielder Hardy, who has struck out twice, comes to the plate. So now Scott has to kind of take a moment here and gather himself, not to try to let this develop into a big inning here in the bottom of the 6th. As he misses high and away. So that one just didn't come back down. And Scott finds his grip, comes set at the belt, out of the stretch. There's a strike right at the belt. On the outer half, looks like a little bit. So, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. This one is, it's pretty well opposite way, but it's foul. And it's 1-2. So again, ran at the corners for the Boomers. Nonetheless, it wouldn't be enough quite yet to be either the tying or going ahead run, as they, again, the Boomers trail by 5 against Evansville, as Evansville put together 6 runs in that 4th inning, batted around. So that's the kind of the big deal of that 4th inning. It's not just getting the lead, but also those extra runs, building that cushion, having some insurance. Of course, I'm sure that the Otters would like to have a little bit more before the end of the night. Counting out 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's kind of the other thing I guess I've noticed is with the Otters offense. Last night, they got off to a good start in those first few innings, and they were quieted the rest of the game. And that 6-run 4th, really haven't put much together since. Two offensive innings after that. As Hardy strikes out for the 3rd time, foul tipped into the mitt. That's the 2nd out. That's the 3rd strikeout. That's the hat trick for Hardy. That's strikeout number 8 for Scott. Here's Angelo Gums. See if Scott can strain those 2 base runners right where they are at 1st and 3rd. Little jam shot, foul back, 0-1. The offense for the Otters, it's just been interesting to watch. You see some games, and I guess this is the case for all baseball teams, they get out to some early scoring, and then they get quieted the rest of the way, or they kind of struggle early on, then they come from behind late. Well, they have 1 big inning. That's a swing. It's 0-2 to Gums. I'm sure to the coaching staff of the Otters, they probably feel a little bit more comfortable and less butterflies in their stomach if they could see their offense, continue to add runs and pour it on a little bit consistently across the 9-inning game. And that one just misses high and outside. It looks like the fastball. It's 1-2. As we are just over the 2-hour mark since the start of this game. It's a 6:30 start time, and it's now 8:30 here locally, which thankfully Schaumburg's in the same time zone, so it makes it easy to calculate the time difference. There is none. There's a swing and a miss. Another strikeout, number 9 on the night for Scott, as he gums the swing and miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning. We're going to the 7th. Otters lead 6-1 on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
All right, here we are through the 6th inning of play, on to the 7th. As it's 2-3-4, Allen, Baez, and Crane leading off at the top of the 7th for the Otters. The Otters working with a 5-run lead. Arjona still on the mound, drops in the curveball for strike to Allen. Allen tonight with a strikeout, a single, and another strikeout. As that one gets away to the backstop, 1-1. And for Allen and Baez both, each with a hit tonight, their respective hitting / on-base streaks, as they are equal going into tonight's game, have both reached 10 games. Now for Mattis, with his double in the 4th, he extended his on-base streak to an even 20 games as Allen gave it all he had, but he pulled it. Left at the foul pole and foul. So yeah, again, for Mattis, with that double in the 4th, he has now reached base consecutively in 20 straight games. And as we've seen tonight, he has swung at a lot of first pitches, up there swinging. He's not here to play lawyer ball. He wants to put the ball in play. He's not trying to get on with the walk, I guess is the best way to put it. Count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Allen leading off. High and inside for a full count. That breaking pitch was left up and in. Five pitches away from 100 for Arjona. He's at 95. Number 96. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Davidson, woo, fell backwards, makes the catch. It's always tough when the ball is moving in the air on you, right? It's one thing when it's just going vertically straight up and back down, but when it's moving horizontally, as usually that's the case, but usually especially on a pop fly where it feels like it should be simple enough, it's not. I don't know if the wind caught that one a little bit to back him up or not, but either way, Davidson makes the play. So there's out number 1. Baez is next up, the left fielder. He had that 2-run blast as part of that 6-run fourth. That was sandwiched in between a ground out and a pop out on his line tonight. Another good breaking ball by Arjona. As it's kind of been off and on for him here tonight, but when it's been there for, it feels like first pitch strikes really. It's looked pretty good. It's when he's gone back to it as like the put away pitch where he hasn't quite had the same control on it. It's like came back at the fastball, lost the grip a little bit. That one gets away. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That one hung up a little bit, but Baez swung underneath it, fouled it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count with 1 out. Again, 5-run lead for the Otters. And again, as we mentioned kind of in the pregame show, could be a playoff preview as both teams currently sit in first place in their respective divisions. Otters in the West, Boomers in the Central. That one spiked in the dirt, 2-2, as that was pitch number 100 for Arjona. Again, no wild card teams this year, which is going to be a shame for 2 teams in this West Division with the Otters, the Miners and Florence both. As again, if things were to hold the rest of the way. As 3 of the, I think, top 5 records belong in the West Division. And that one fouled off by Baez. We'll take a look here at the standings once again here in the night. So, let's see. Well, I'll say now, I guess now 2 of the top 5 records in the Frontier League, as Washington, with their 49th win last night, surpassed Southern Illinois. Again, that's it was just part of the planning process to limit travel with the times of the pandemic, and at least just to get a baseball season in. As a ground ball, that one was to Craig. It's in time for the out, but he pulled Davidson way to his left down the line, almost pulled him off the bag. So to finish my point, I would suspect going forward into next year, maybe, if not next year, the year after, soon I'll say, I guess, it'll be the return of the wild card teams to the French League format. Riley Crane takes one inside near the shin guard for ball 1. Crane tonight with a single in the 2nd. He grounded out in the 4th. He also flew out to left back in the 5th. 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. Well, excuse me, swing fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Arjona looks over the glove, gets his sign, peers in. Now he begins his motion. Dropped another good curveball, but doesn't get the call. That one may a little bit outside and may a little too much break as well. This one rolled over towards second on the shift. Gums to Davidson for out number 3. It's time to stretch, but I'll save you I'll save your ears from hearing me sing. I just don't sing. So we'll just go ahead and take a commercial break. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the 7th. Otters lead 6-1 on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
So like I said, it's time to stretch, but I don't sing, and like I said, I'll save your ears from hearing me have to sing take me out to the ball game. We're going back to action in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 6-1 lead for the Otters, and before a pitch is even thrown, Felix and Scott have to get together to talk about something here. Kind of interesting to see that, the start of the inning before a pitch is even thrown. As they were set and ready to go, let's talk it over. First, Schaumburg in this bottom half of the 7th will be Botcher and Odo, the 8-9 spots. Followed by the top of the lineup in Craig. 8-9-1 due up. 91 pitches for Scott to start the inning, so you have a feeling this might be his last inning. He'll turn things over to the bullpen. Should be a relatively fresh bullpen. Is a kind of easy, I guess, rotation of pulling arms out from the bullpen for the Otters at Southern. And nice play by Mattis. Had to go all the way, charge in toward his left on the infield grass. And that ball kind of, I don't know, took a weird hop on him. I don't know if that's exactly the right way to put it, but scoops and gathers and makes the throw for the first out. Nine strikeouts on the night for Scott. So he works into the bottom of the 7th. Odo, the batter now. And for Scott, only allowing the 1 run back in that first inning. And there is a strike pumped on home. For Odo, he had a single in the 5th. He's also grounded out 1 for 2. And one misses down and away. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. And one thing to kind of look forward to here in the last week of the season will be the announcement from the Frontier League of postseason awards. The end of season awards, including the postseason. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the postseason because that's obviously the playoffs, but the end of season all-star team, if you will. Usually it's you have the Midsummer Classic of the Frontier League, and then you have the end of the season all-star team. So that'll be announced here in the coming weeks, or coming days, I guess. We also have the likes of the MVP, Pitcher of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year. A few other awards will be announced and awarded as well. As Odo didn't like that strike call, and it's 2-2. A lot of good players in the league this year. As we mentioned in last night's broadcast, and the one prior on Wednesday, I mean, Riley Crane has put together a good resume to make a campaign, I would say, for why he should be the MVP of the Frontier League. As time called late, Scott was almost halfway into his delivery. Didn't really like that too much. And with as many batters batting for most of the season, you know, high average 280, 290, 300 plus. A lot of good players on the Otters. As Nick Odo didn't like that strike call. That's another strikeout. The 10th of the night for Scott. His season high in a game is 12, so he's not too far off from that if he can finish it out. He would have to go into the 8th to do that, as there's 2 outs here in this inning. Well, I guess that wouldn't necessarily have to be the case. So we saw the other night, a strikeout with a wild pitch that reached safely, but still considered a strikeout, and then a strikeout following. So I guess that could be the case, but we prefer that he would not have to go through that. 97 pitches now for Scott. Top of the order in Craig, who is 0 for 3 with a couple flyouts and a strikeout. Called strike 0-1. So again, the end of the season awards coming for the Frontier League here as we approach the regular season finale a week from Sunday. Another time called. Fastball misses on the inner half. It's 1-1. Of course, it'll be interesting this year with that balloting, because you now have the addition of the new teams and a whole new depth of talent in those teams up northeast in the Northeast and Atlantic divisions in the Can-Am Conference. The Otters did not get to face any of those teams with the exception of that Quebec at the beginning of the season. At that time, Quebec was an all-road team as they were not able to go back and forth across the border. So they didn't have a home game. They were able to eventually have their first true home game back at the end of July, and since then, which I'm sure is a lot better than traveling the entire 4-month summer. Count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. 6-1 lead for the Otters. Pitch 100 coming for Scott. Here comes that century mark pitch. Breaking ball. Ooh, it looked good. It looked really good, but it's not called a strike. Scott was making his way toward the dugout thinking he had strike 3. Kind of twitches his neck a little bit, grimaces like, I really wanted that. Gotta give it to me, come on. So he'll have to start over with a 3-2 count. See if he can get the punch out here. The pitch! Fought off. Spoiled by Craig. Just got a piece on the end of the bat on it. As Scott makes Craig foul off another one. This one he decided to go up in the zone with it. And fouled back. Okay, here are the signs from Felix. Scott winds and fires, called strike 3. Craig absolutely mad about that call. He threw the helmet through the bat. Now he's chirping back at the home plate umpire. That could lead to some extracurricular activity with me. No ejection. Usually when there's a clear argument of balls and strikes, it doesn't last long for that leash to get thrown out there. Nonetheless, strikeout number 11 for Scott. As that ends the inning, we'll head to the top of the 8th. A quick break here on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Going to the top of the 8th inning, 6-1 lead for the Evansville Otters against the Schaumburg Boomers from Wintrust Field in Schaumburg, Illinois. Preston Lineback here with you remotely calling the game. New pitcher for the Schaumburg Boomers. Haven't made out quite who that is yet. But when I look at the live stats feed, it has showed a substitution with Craig being taken out of the game. He was 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Luke Becker into the game in his place. So I'm curious to know now if he was ejected at some point in between innings for arguing the balls and strikes, or if it was just a straight switch by manager Jamie Bennett. I guess we'll find out in the final box score later on tonight after the game, after the broadcast. On the mound is Christian Scott. That's who's now in the game. His first pitch to McNamee called a strike. So the numbers for Scott, 6.52 ERA, 19 of 30 innings pitched. Making his 18th appearance, he has an 0-2 record. 12 strikeouts on the year, as I believe he spent a good part of the season on the injured list, if I recall correctly. It's a familiar name that when we saw Schaumburg make the trip to Evansville, but... No. Okay. Fan makes the I guess the catch or corrals the foul ball and has a little celebration dance for us here on camera. 0-2 to McNamee, ground ball left side to third. That's Becker now across the diamond, low throw, dug out though by Davidson at first base. So again, Scott really not one of the primary arms out of the pen for the Boomers, but down 5, get him some action and shoot up maybe the 8th inning, possibly the 9th, just to see if Schaumburg can make something of these last 2 innings to come back into this game. But for Evansville's sake, they're hoping to keep the Boomers at bay as Schultz comes up to the plate once again with 1 out. And as Scott steps off for Schultz, a fly out, an RBI single back in the 4th, and then a ground out in the 5th, rather. It was the 6th inning in my scorebook, but I had to cross it off and make a new column once the Otters batted around in the 4th inning. Had to make some room for the next column of batters in that 4th inning, as it went through 11 batters in the lineup in that 4th inning for Evansville. As Allen led off that inning, he ended up coming back around and the Baez one more time for the end of the 4th frame. Strike called to Schultz. Tomorrow will be an interesting pitching matchup as well. Polo Portela, the right-hander, will be on the mound for Evansville. The left-hander, Andrew Dean, for Schaumburg. Ground ball in a misplay by Gums. He tried to backhand it. So Schultz reaches. We'll see what they call that. And it is an error. So he went down to a knee and then tried to backhand it. Which normally the right way to go about it, if you have time to get down to a knee, you have time to get your chest behind it and field it the right way. I know if Bill McCune's listening how he feels about the backhanded infield plays. He doesn't like them. And more often than not, if you don't have the confidence to make the play, you're going to commit the error. You better be sure you're going to actually bring the ball into that glove trying to backhand it. Ground ball on the shift. And how about this? For DeJesus, Gums gets the ball. I believe it was a shift. He was almost behind the first baseman, Davidson, when he got the ball into the glove, but Davidson, for some reason, abandoned the first base bag. And Scott didn't have enough time to even come close to covering. So it's a interesting play where now DeJesus reaches on an infield single. Schultz goes to second. Kind of a mental lapse there, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly where Davidson was going. He's basically chasing Schultz, but the play was to second base where, with the momentum of Gums, there was no way he's going to be able to turn and fire that to second base, I don't think, to get the lead runner. His momentum was taking him into first, so that makes sense that would be the direction he would have gone with. As Justin Felix is up to the plate, for some reason, though, on live stats it shows Andrew Penner, but that's not correct. Somebody must have accidentally right or left clicked on something on the computer. It's still Justin Felix. As the count 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at first and second, a 6-1 lead, top of the 8th. Otters looking to add to that lead. That one's taken down low, 2-1. You know, I will say, based from experience, that sometimes, one, technology just fails you. But two, point streaks sometimes can be frustrating to work with when entering the official stats and scoring. Sometimes, I'm pretty sure sometimes there are just straight up ghosts that just get into the computer and mess things up. As this one's fouled back 2-2. And we're little gremlins. Technological gremlins, I don't know what you want to call them, but sometimes weird things just happen. As Schultz takes his lead at second. That's a slider that misses. Nice job by Odo to slide over to get to that pitch, as that almost was a wild pitch. Count full with 1 out. Schultz at second. DeJesus at first. Be interesting to see. Do the Otters want to try to push it here and get the runners going with only 1 out, or just tell them to get a good secondary lead? I would say probably just a good secondary lead. Got a 5-run lead, no reason to overdo it with a bad double play ball. But Felix drives one to the opposite field gap, to the wall. Schultz comes around to score. Here comes DeJesus. He'll touch home. And safe at third, a triple for Justin Felix. Felix with arguably one of his best offensive nights in terms of run production this season for the Otters. He has 5 RBIs. It's an 8-1 lead for Evansville. For Felix, he's gotten the hard part out of the way. A home run in the triple. I know it's top of the 8th, but as we've kind of jokingly gone about ourselves here on the broadcast this past week, hashtag cycle watch. Yeah, I don't think there's enough time for that with the way the scoreline is, and again in the top of the 8th, but kind of funny nonetheless that the home run and triple is the first 2 on the board for Felix for the 2 hits he has tonight. Ooh, this one's hit well. Where's this one going to end up? In front of the track to the right fielder. Hardy makes the catch as Gordon gave that one a ride. It's long enough for a sac fly RBI as Felix comes home from third. And it's a 9-1 lead for Evansville. There we go. Some good insurance there for Evansville. As the lineup turns back over to Mattis up the top. 2 outs. Well, Mattis did swing at the first pitch. I can't believe it. Good thing he didn't. It was taken high for a ball. I guess with an 8-run lead, he might try to go for the walk. We'll see here. All good fun. Swings and misses on the slider, though, down and away. Nice late tailing action. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Ooh, Mass now showing a little bunt. Tried a little drag bunt there on the 1-1. Misses, and it's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Called strike 3, that'll end the inning. As Mattis gets caught looking. But 3 runs in the inning for Evansville. They lead 9-1. Going to the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Quickly coming back to action, bottom of the 8th. Scott's still on the mound. It's a leadoff hit by McGarry. Now the first pitch from Scott, who's working into the 8th inning, and a single by McGarry. 11 strikeouts so far for Scott. His season best a dozen, so he's 1 away from that. And after the leadoff single will be Dawson. Dawson has had a tough night so far following his walk in the first, a strikeout and a pop out. Outside for a ball, 1-0. As again, for that last half inning on the mound for Scott, he passed the century mark in pitch count. He's at 104 now. That was a breaking ball. Kind of hung up a little bit. It was hittable. But it's a fly out to center field as Gordon ranges toward his right in the alley for the first out. Runner stays put at first base. I'll bring up Neoporti. Neoporti all night. He's been on base a couple times. Had that RBI double in the first, a ground out, and then a single in the sixth. Davidson behind him also with a pair of hits on the night. He's on deck. This one's fouled, tipped back. 0-1. Neoporti was way out in front of that one. That was a good curveball there from Scott. And that one's off the knob of the bat, I think. Yes, it was. It's a foul ball, 0-2. A little check swing. So once again, 4-game series, including tonight on the road at Schaumburg. Next week, Tuesday through the following Sunday, the 12th. The last homestand, the last 6 games of the regular season for the Otters will be back at Boston Field Tuesday through next Sunday. You won't want to miss out. Be some exciting promotions, and again, just the postseason race for the Otters as they try to clinch the division title. There's strikeout number 12. Swing and a miss. A dozen on the night for Braden Scott. As Davidson will be the batter, so will Scott make his case tonight to be the pitcher of the week for the second time this season come Monday morning, or Monday afternoon rather? We will find out, because there's no doubt about it. 12 strikeouts, only 1 earned run, or 1 run in general allowed. I think the argument is being built for pitcher of the week next week, maybe for Braden Scott. Drops in a curveball for strike 1. And so far, I would believe by the end of this outing, with the way it's gone so far, is the stat line holds, Scott's ERA would drop back below 3. As it was 3.1 going in. Ground ball, and that one gets through into right field. McAmey comes on to get it back in quickly. Runners now at first and second with 2 outs. So that's the 3rd single of the night for Davidson. Here's Hardy, the right fielder. So speaking of next week, again, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So you get $2 tacos, nachos available as well. Don't forget about the frozen margaritas at the Backstop Bar. Swing and a miss. Of course, the discounted Modelo and Corona, that's all on Tuesday, 6:35 start. Wednesday, it's an early start, 10:05 a.m. for Education Day. It's still Senior Connection Wednesday with $2 GA tickets for those 55 and older. Again, an early 10:05 a.m. start. Gates open at 9. Make sure to mark that on your calendar so you don't forget the different start time. That one in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Thursday, the last Thirsty Thursday, so be sure to come on out for the discounted domestic cans and draught beer. Plus, it's an Evansville Triplet celebration, as the Otters will be wearing themed Triplets jerseys. It'll be cool to see. Make sure you come on out to see for your own with your own eyes. So we kind of throw it back a little bit here at the ballpark. And that'll be in the series on Tuesday through Thursday against the Joliet Slammers. And that's the 3rd out. Ground ball to 3rd, taken unassisted by Mattis. We'll go through the rest of the promotions for next weekend against the Lake Erie Crushers when we come back right after this on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Back on the Evansville Otters digital network, going to the top of the ninth. The Otters lead 9-1. Preston Lineback here with you on the call. Thank you for tuning in. So once again, be a new pitcher, it looks like, here on the mound for the ninth inning for Schaumburg as they trail by 8 to the Otters. So once again, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against the Joliet Slammers. Wednesday, the special start time at 10:05. So make sure you get there early. Gates will open at 9. And should be enough room to park in the actual parking lot. I guess I'm trying not to put this in a negative way, but it'll be a kind of a low attended education day game because a lot of schools are still going through strict protocols and regulations of what they can do in terms of, dealing with COVID and the safety of the kids and the students. Some schools not allowing field trips and trips off of school campuses. So be only kind of a few schools here in attendance, but again, the early start time, you should be able to just get here early and find room to park in the parking lot. As Allen leads off down 0-2 after a couple good breaking pitches from the new pitcher in the game for Schaumburg, Jake Joyce. And then next weekend, Lake Erie comes back to town. We just saw them a couple weeks ago. On Friday, it'll be a partnership night with the American Cancer Society to raise awareness. And, of course, as we've promoted at the ballpark here lately and going forward, Evan the Otters partnered with the American Cancer Society to raise awareness and as well as raise donations. It's a 1-2 count to Allen. Swing and a miss. He strikes out for the first out of the inning. That's the third strikeout of the night for Allen. He's kind of had a tough night at the plate, not looking really comfortable. Saturday will be First Responders Night. That'll be a night where the Evansville Otters organization and, of course, the team will just want to take a game and the chance to recognize and show our appreciation for all of our first responders and emergency personnel for all that they do, as well as our frontline workers who have obviously gone through a lot in the past 2 years now, pretty much. We want to show our appreciation and welcome you to our ballpark here toward the end of the season as the Otters, again, go for their push for the postseason. Baez pops out for out number 2. So again, that'll be First Responders Night, Center Point Energy, Boys and Girls Club. There'll be some giveaways. Get here early. Some, to my understanding, Drawstream backpacks with some small trinkets inside. Some shirts being given away as well. So make sure you get here early for that. And then stay after the game for the last scheduled post-game fireworks show. Those are always fun to watch. I mean, they're no joke. They're the big fireworks and just a dazzling, great experience to stay after the game and hopefully after an Otters win to watch a fireworks show. Then on Sunday for the regular season finale, it's the last dog days of summer as Crane's at the plate with the strike on the board. So there'll be the last chance next Sunday, 12:35 start time. Bring your dog to the ballpark. Get the $2 hot dogs. That will wrap up the top of the ninth. A ground out to the first baseman unassisted. We'll keep it here. I'll finish out the promotional schedule so you have all the details for you. Again, dog days of summer for next Sunday. That last game against Crushers and the other season finale. That game brought to you by the Evansville Trails Coalition. And it's also Fan Appreciation Day. As Evansville Otters want to show their appreciation on Sunday for the fans for their support in 2021 and the return of baseball to Bosse Field this summer, as well as to all the corporate partners and sponsors with Evansville this season. And as part of that, if you get here early, there'll be also a shirt giveaway, very limited amount while supplies last if you get here early on next Sunday's game. Plus, if you saw our Facebook post and Instagram post this past week, the first 1,000 fans will get a special ball, logo ball, to throw as part of our big first pitch, in quotes, ceremony. Pre-game first pitch, again, in quotes, for the first 1,000 fans. You'll want to stay tuned for that. It's going to be a kind of a fun time pre-game when that event takes place. And there'll be some other activities and little things going on the concourse as well that day and throughout the week as well. As we can't wait to have you back in the ballpark for the last 6 games of the regular season at Bosse Field. I can't believe it's already here. Here we went all of last year, and I thought it was never going to come. Finally did this past May, and the season and the summer has flown by. And let's just hope there's, again, some more games in the future past September 12th, as the Otters hopefully can close out a division title and a berth in the postseason. If they do, that'll be the second division title, I guess you can say, consecutively in terms of French League Championship seasons, as the Otters won the West Division in 2019, and at that time that was the first division title for the Otters since back in the late 90s. And they had gone 20 years since division titles, and now they could technically do it in back-to-back championship seasons. Obviously not counting last year. You know, some teams did play, but the French League did not have their championship season. So a little bit on the line, I guess, historically for the Otters going forward, even though it's already been a kind of a crazy historical season in a lot of ways at different moments for the Otters throughout the year. Of course, no one will ever forget that 9-run inning for the big comeback at Lake Erie. I mean, just remarkable comeback back at the beginning of the month of August. We got Angelo Gums at the plate here at the bottom of the ninth. Joe Riley is on the mound for Evansville. So Scott's night is finished. He'll turn it over to leave the last inning of work to Joe Riley. So the final line tonight for Braden Scott, 8 innings. Again, matching a season best. Allowed 9 hits, but only allowed the 1 run to score back in the first inning. Walked only 1 batter, and he struck out a dozen. So Scott matching a season best with 8 innings, as well as a season best 12 strikeouts. 0-2 the count, bottom of the ninth, 9-1 lead for the Otters here on the Otters Digital Network. Gums at the plate, Riley on the mound. Joe Riley, that is. And this one on the 0-2 fouled off. So before we wrap up here in the bottom of the ninth inning, let's go ahead and take one more look at the scoreboard, FrontierLeague.com scoreboard update. The final in Quebec, as they defeat the New Jersey Jackals 7-0. Bottom of the ninth, the Miners lead the Grizzlies 8-3. Top of the 10th, it was tied 4-4. The Valley Cats are now ahead 5-4 against the Boulders. That game's not over, though. As we all know, with the international tiebreaker, the Boulders in their home half can easily tie it and may force a home run derby. Top of the 8th, the Yalls lead 6-1. So it looks like they'll get another win, and it looks like the standings in the West Division will stay put. There's a ground ball by Gums to Allen on the 1-2 for a ground out. And 1 away in the bottom of the ninth. Top of the 8th, Washington leads Sussex County 4-3. So if that result holds, Washington will extend their lead to 2 games against Sussex County in the Northeast Division. And in the bottom of the 8th, Windy City leads Lake Erie 7-4. So again, with the Miners winning as well as the Yalls late in their games, the Yalls looks like, and if the Otters obviously about to finish out here, the 9-1 lead hopefully. It's not quite over yet, I guess. Strike to Botcher. The Yalls will remain 1.5 games back of the Otters. The Miners will remain 4.5 back in the West Division. 0-2 the count here to Botcher. So again, the regular season finale next Sunday, the 12th, here at Bosse Field. It'll be an off day. The playoff schedule will start on that following Tuesday, the 14th. The 14th, 15th will be the first two games. And that will be at the, in terms of the location, that will be at the underseeded team, the underdog, if you will. And then there'll be a travel day that following Thursday. And then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday after will be 3 games, and of course 2 of those, if necessary, at the favorite / higher seeded team. There'll be a 2-3 format for both the divisional round and for the championship series. But the postseason will start on that Tuesday the 14th. You can find the full playoff formats, the schedule, and I guess the eligibility of the tiebreaker situations, which we've gone over on the broadcast this week at the Frontier League's website, frontierleague.com. 2 gone now. As Riley gets Botcher out on a strikeout. So the Otters are 1 out away from a victory here to open up the series in Schaumburg. Nick Odo at the plate, fouls one off. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss. That one dips down, and Odo couldn't hold back. It's 0-2. The Otters just strike away from a victory. Otters searching for their 53rd win of the season now. For those wondering, 57 is the season best in Otters history. They've done that a couple times. They would love to get to 58. There's a chance with over a week of games left. Last time they hit 57 was in 2019. Match that franchise record. Because that one's fouled off to stay alive for Nick Odo. Riley comes set. He delivers. There's the game. Whoa, what a pitch from Joe Riley to finish it off. Blows it right on by Nick Odo. So the strikeout swinging ends the game. The Otters take game 1 of the 4-game series in Schaumburg. 9-1 the final score. The Otters have now won 3 straight games, going back to their road trip this past week to Marion, Illinois. So that's a big win for the Otters. They'll stay in front of the Yalls and the Miners in the West Division. Trickle down that magic number a little bit. And what an outing from Braden Scott. Credit to him. Bounced back well. Last week had an off night against the Gateway Grizzlies. Came back strong. Gets the win with 8 innings deep. The 1 run and 12 strikeouts. And a credit to Joe Riley. Finished out the 9th well as for the Otters with 2 strikeouts of his own. So we'll dive quickly through here the box score before we wrap things up. For Evansville, on the night, every single player in the lineup having a hit, getting on base. Mattis, Allen, Baez, Crane, all with a single hit. McAmey with a pair, Schultz with 1, DeJesus with 2. It still shows Andrew Pinner in the live stats, but it's Justin Felix who has 2 hits. 1 hit for Gordon as well. And a 5 RBI night for Felix with the home run and the triple. He really needed that. That one was a big night for Felix. Again, arguably his best offensive night of the season for the Otters. Baez also finishing with 2 RBIs as he had that home run earlier in the game. For Schaumburg, Arjona will take the loss. He went 7 innings, allowed 10 hits, 6 runs, only 3 strikeouts. Scott and Joyce finished out the game for those last 2 innings. Offensively, pretty much a 2-man effort, really, for the most part. Neoporte with 2 hits, Davidson with 3, and then McGarry, Gums, Botcher, and Odo all with 1, as Hardy and Becker, who replaced Craig, All three of those guys hitless, even though Becker didn't even get an at-bat. The final lines, 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Evansville. The defense has been sharp of late for Evansville. That's a big plus going forward here in the final week. And then for Schaumburg, 1 run on 9 hits. So a lot of men left on tonight with 1 error. So that'll be how we wrap up tonight's broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in for some Evansville Otters baseball action. We'll be back tomorrow night on the air at 6:30 for at 6 p.m. for the first pitch. We'll be on approximately 10 minutes before that for the pregame show just to get you all set for the action. Again, it'll be Portela on the mound for Evansville, the left-hander Dean for Schaumburg. So that'll be a fun matchup. Maybe another fun matchup possibly the rest of the weekend as well, especially on Sunday. You got O'Reilly versus Bramblett, the recent acquisition from Gateway for Schaumburg. On Monday, you'll have Gossman against Middendorf. So some good pitching matchups the rest of the weekend. I want to thank you all once again for tuning in. We'll wrap this up. Tonight's final score as Evansville picks up their 53rd win of the season. Evansville 9, Schaumburg 1. You've been listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and YouTube channel. We'll see you tomorrow night.